Hey guys, welcome back to the Movie Pod. My name's Isaac, and I'm of course joined by our co-host Joseph. How are you doing on this Thursday evening, Thursday Arvo?
Thursday, I am hyped, mate. It is what 21ish hours. I'm excited.
19 hours.
I'm excited.
No,
19 hours
20
now.
hours. 20
Yeah,
hours.
okay.
Time of recording.
20 hours away from possibly the game of the year, potentially.
Jedi Survivor.
From the reviews, from everything. Hyped.
We're
But
gonna have our predictions for that coming out tonight as
Yep.
well after this episode. So look out for that.
yeah, we're not here for that today.
Got some
Not
big
quite.
predictions for Jedi Survivor. But first, I want to go into some unfortunate news. Really sad news before we get into the hyped up news about Survivor. But yeah, as you can see, I know a lot of you probably already know, it's all over Instagram and Twitter and whatnot, YouTube. The Boba Fett Temuera Morrison drama. Now we're finally talking about it. Temuera Morrison plays Boba Fett. He plays all the clones. He played Jango Fett in 2002's Attack of the Clones. He's the face of the clones.
Yep.
And obviously, he got to show the Book of Boba Fett, Mando Season 2, and he was at a convention here in Australia at the Supernova Convention down in Melbourne.
Melbourne.
This one was in Melbourne. Supernovas all around Australia, from Gold Coast, Melbourne, Perth, Sydney. What we're going over is something he said in Melbourne. But it doesn't look bright for Boba Fett's future, for Temuera Morrison's future playing Boba Fett. And for playing Boba Fett and coming back as a clone, because there's so many possibilities for Temuera Morrison to be in Star Wars. Rex in the Ahsoka show, I really hope we see Temuera Morrison playing Rex.
It's a
That's
big one.
going to go crazy. But I'll get into the quotes he said. So basically, during an appearance at Supernova Comic Con and Gaming Convention in Melbourne, Australia, the actor admitted, Temuera Morrison said, "I was supposed to be in The Mandalorian Season 3, but nobody rang me. I was waiting for the phone call in New Zealand, waiting and wanting to give up." He also said, now this was on his show, The Book of Boba Fett. "Well, that Mando guy stole a few chapters of my book. It was painful watching him turn up with some black new sword, and the way he turned up in my Book of Boba, he just destroyed everybody. I'm sure this guy is ruining my show, but I couldn't say anything. I'm not the writer, so I had to bear with it, I guess." That really hurts. When actors come out that they don't like what they're doing, Temuera Morrison, bro, he loves Star Wars. He loves playing Boba Fett, back from 2002 when he played Jango Fett. Man, this kind of even proves now how... I don't want to be toxic because, no toxicity here, but Disney
Good
really
thing I wasn't there for that episode.
Disney, yeah, no. Disney are really just, I don't know, bro. They're making it so corporate, and it hurts, bro. It hurts. He said this about Disney. Now, this was very surprising. What he said about Disney, I didn't think he would, and this backs up my reasoning on why I think Boba may not see Temuera Morrison back for a while. And I'll address if we'll see him in the Ahsoka show as Rex in a second, because he did say something about that. But he said, "I think there is a few changes going on. We also come under the big umbrella known as Disney now." So it's one of the last few conversations we had in LA. The conversation started like, "Oh, look, we're having a few changes. We're having a few catbacks." And when you hear that at the other end of the line, it's not good trying to negotiate any more money, that's for sure. So we'll see what happens. So they're having cutbacks. They're trying to save money. So they didn't bring... The reason Temuera Morrison, Boba wasn't in Mando Season 3 is because they wanted to save money. They couldn't afford him.
Okay.
That's bullshit.
Yeah. No.
Is it because, maybe now they need a budget for 3 movies?
But I can't imagine Temuera Morrison is going to be a big money spend on them.
Yeah. But, so they don't want to
Is that
spend
the
money
reason?
to bring Temuera Morrison back as Boba Fett, one of the fan favorite characters, but they'll spend money to bring probably the most hated Star Wars character of late back, right?
Yep.
Doesn't make sense, and it just, I don't know, bro. It frustrates me. I don't know what the hell's going over there at Disney. It's just like they're trying to recreate the whole freaking thing. Like, it's disappointing to hear him say that, but yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
I think they might learn their lesson a little bit from the backlash from season 3 of The Mandalorian. Like, it could have
Yeah.
instead of having that episode 6 filler episode, it could have been a Boba episode. It deserved to be a Boba episode. I would have rathered a Boba episode than having Lizzo and Jack Black. Like, that doesn't cost. Both Lizzo and Jack Black, I guarantee you, would have cost more than Temuera Morrison.
Oh, 100%.
Guarantee you.
Now, this is something I want to go over on Rotten Tomatoes. So before season 3, sorry, The Mandalorian on Rotten Tomatoes was rated 93%.
Which is very good
which
for a
is
TV
critic,
show.
and it was about 89% audience. Now, after season 3, it's 90% critic and 78% audience.
Yeah, so about...
Yeah. I'll read the seasons out. Season 1, 93% critic score, 92% audience. Season 2,
That's good.
93% critic, 97% audience. Season 3, 86% critic, 49% audience.
Oh, yeah, no, that really goes to show.
It's got a rotten audience score. That's not good. That's
No,
terrible.
it's really not.
That is very, very bad. That's very, very bad. So, obviously,
But
season 3 wasn't the best. Literally, as you said, a Jack Black and Lizzo episode. What happened in that episode that helped the future of the
Jack
show?
Black and Lizzo, even with it, one without the other, would still cost more than Temuera Morrison. I would like to think they're both much bigger names. Lizzo's not an actress.
And I don't think
she's done acting roles, but she's like one of the top 100 singers in the world right now.
And they're also
And on a non-contracted deal, it's going to cost more. And Jack Black, don't even get me started.
They're also kind of like the people who do it for money. Yeah, Temuera Morrison's job's an actor.
Yep, it's a cameo. Cameos cost more than... Okay. So, yeah, the cameos, they would cost more than a singular contracted character. And it's just...
Yeah.
It's a feeble excuse that they give him.
And
like...
No, I agree. And I love Jack Black, don't get me wrong. But he'd be expensive. Lizzo just seems like the type of person that... I don't know, but she just seems like the type of person that goes into a role for as much money as possible.
Well, she's a top 100 music artist at the moment. She's
Lizzo
not...
was before Mando, so...
Yeah, she's a singer. She's a performer. She's not an actress. And so, to me, like I appreciate the cameos, but it didn't add anything to the story.
That episode, the only thing that happened in that episode was the ending of Din giving Bo the Darksaber, and that was like 3 minutes. They did nothing.
But I would like to mention, we did a video about this. So yes, Temuera Morrison said all this poor stuff about Disney, sure. But it pales in comparison to what John Boyega has said about the company, and yet he is reportedly coming back.
Apparently coming back.
Reportedly coming back. So if that is true, I think it seems like Disney are a little bit more, not lenient, but
you have to spend money.
Freeing, I suppose. Yeah. And
they had Boba in there.
Morrison, he's been such an important character. Like, he's been around for 15 years now. No, more. Sorry.
No.
11 years. 21 years. My math's bad. 21 years.
As Temuera
Since
Morrison.
2002.
Temuera Morrison.
Since, yeah. Attack of the Clones.
I thought you said Boba Fett.
No, Attack of the Clones. Yeah. Boba Fett was in Empire.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I agree.
So, he plays such an important character. All the clones. Right, most of the clones, not all of them.
Well, all of them except the Bad Batch.
Yeah. And so he's just...
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think the repercussions will be that bad, but it's funny to see how much the workers don't love Disney's Star Wars.
Yeah, there's Mark Hamill.
The
Now there's
biggest one.
Temuera Morrison, saying that it falls under Disney now. What did he say? I think there's a few changes going on. We also come under the big umbrella known as Disney now.
Yeah, that's
And
not
then-
saying anything bad though. That's
It's just it's kind of just saying that they're a lot more
it's a
corporate,
little passive aggressive,
a lot more corporate and
controlling.
and they do it for money. I'm sure there's a lot of people at Disney and Lucasfilm that think it's great that they're working for a company that works on Star Wars and they create Star Wars, like Dave Filoni. Yes, he has to look at ways to make Lucasfilm money because he has to. He wouldn't have his job otherwise. But in his true heart and passion, he just wants to continue on George's amazing world.
Yeah.
Galaxy. Now, a quote from comicbook.com. The Mandalorian marks the first live-action TV series set in the galaxy far, far away, with Season 2 not only being exciting for the chance to see the adventures of Din Djarin, but also for how it set up the stage for other stories on Disney+. Following that teaser, the Boba Fett's returns, audience were given the Book of Boba Fett, while Season 2 also saw the live-action debut of Ahsoka Tano, paving the way for the upcoming Star Wars Ahsoka TV series later this year, in August. However, between the Book of Boba Fett being billed as a special event series and Morrison's recent comments, we might not be seeing the bounty hunter again in the near future.
I mean, I think it's a bigger loss for Disney than it is for anybody else. He's such an important character, and it kind of, I think it's a warning shot to Disney as well, because of how important he is and because of how much of a fan base he has. Like, nobody dislikes Morrison. Nobody. He's not one of those characters where it's like you either like him or you don't. Maybe Book of Boba Fett divided them a little bit, but all in all, he's a good character. He's a great character, and it's more of a loss for Disney because, it's a shot to them. It's a loss. I think if they leave him, if they stop, if they cut him, I feel like it's Disney will then struggle more. Because when John Boyega spoke out, that was a lot of problems for Disney because it made people be like, okay, and now that he's such a bigger character, he's been around for a lot longer. I don't know. I think it's dangerous for them to leave him out because then he really will start talking and he really will start discrediting Disney.
Yeah, well, I quote from comicbook.com again. They said, at least a somewhat promising update about Boba Fett's future, though, is that Dave Filoni has confirmed to be developing a film that is expected to tie up the elements from The Mandalorian and Ahsoka, and based on the timeline and characters, could also mean incorporating Boba Fett as well. It's got to. That movie better have Boba Fett in it.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. If they leave out Boba Fett out of something like that, then that's a bigger loss for Disney.
Man, why does this stuff have to happen, eh?
Well, it's clear why. And it's kind of good because if he speaks out and Disney don't do anything about it, maybe other people will start speaking out as well. Bigger characters, bigger.
Okay, but if he speaks out and they don't do anything and they just shut Temuera Morrison out, don't give him a role back, then that could make people make other actors not want to speak up because they don't want to lose their job. I don't know.
Yeah, but it would leave him to not be as restrictive. Clearly he wasn't. He had something he wanted to say, but he wouldn't say it, type thing. He was clearly mad, but he didn't want to show that.
Yeah.
And so if Disney let him go, he's been around for so long. He knows so much about the company. I'm not saying he does know a lot, but if he does,
he does know
it could be dangerous for them. But if they don't do anything, then you know what I mean?
Yeah, I did know what you mean. Yeah.
So the only thing that Disney can start doing is actually caring more about
They don't.
being more loyal to legacy characters. Boba Fett is a legacy character.
Oh, bro,
Obi-Wan, a legacy character.
The way they've
They've
treated
ruined
every
two
single
legacy characters
Nah, bro.
in TV shows alone.
TV shows, bro. Legacy characters, they cannot deal with them. Obi-Wan,
Yeah.
Boba Fett, Luke Skywalker in the
Luke.
sequels, even Leia in the sequels, Han Solo. They can't deal with legacy characters, which is why I think they should just step away and go create new stuff, and then people could like brand new stuff, like James Mangold's Dawn of the Jedi movie. 25,000 years before the Phantom Menace. Oh my god, I'm actually very excited for that. Probably my most hyped up Star Wars movie. Yeah, Dave's, but honestly, it's probably James Mangold because it's this. The concept of his movie could be greatest Star Wars thing ever made. Not even capping. I'm hyped for that.
It could be. It has the potential to be.
It does. And James Mangold, I have hope in him, bro. Ooh, I hope that movie happens,
Yeah.
man. It better. I swear to fork. But yeah, that's our little thoughts on, the Temuera Morrison Boba Fett drama. Also, before we end, I need basically I saw this on Instagram. At Supernova in Melbourne. A fan asked Temuera Morrison if he is going to be in Ahsoka playing Rex. The fan asked if Rex is going to show up on Ahsoka. Temuera Morrison smiled at him and said, "I haven't heard anything," and then winked at him and walked off. Maybe
Sneaky little Kiwi.
we better see. Nah, we will, bro. Dave's putting Rex in there. We're getting Rex.
We have to.
We have to. Oh my god, live action Rex, dude, played by Temuera Morrison. That's gonna be crazy. I'm hyped. But that's our thoughts.
Rex dies.
Yeah, we were saying this earlier.
Yeah, Rex dies in Ahsoka. If he's
bloody
in it,
old.
Of course.
He's bloody old. I reckon so. It'd be freaking sad, I reckon. Yeah,
I think it'll also be it'd be really compelling.
Or he dies in the movie.
Maybe.
I reckon a lot of people are gonna dive in Dave Filoni's movie. I reckon a lot. Because there's a lot of characters down in the sequels. I reckon Mon Mothma will die in Dave's movie. Maybe Rex if he doesn't die in Ahsoka. Din Djarin, the Mandalorian, will die in Dave's movie. Maybe Boba Fett. I think so because unless he dies of old age. But I reckon Din will die to sacrifice himself for Grogu. I reckon.
Yeah, I can see it. If he doesn't die in the Mandalorian seasons earlier, which I think is more likely.
Well, I mean, Dave's movie's only literally 3 years away.
Yeah, I suppose so. I suppose that only gives us maximum 2 more seasons.
Yeah, that's crazy. But we'll create we'll make a video on discussing Dave's movie and what could really happen with all like the plot details we've got so far. Okay, hear me out. They don't bring Temuera Morrison back. But they want Boba. They recast Boba Fett and all the clones, and there's a new face. Vin Diesel.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
Vin Diesel with the new Boba Fett. They look the exact same. No one would know the difference.
Okay.
Boba Fett may have just got a bit shorter. That's all.
I thought you were going to say The Rock.
No. Not The Rock. Vin Diesel is our
The Rock makes more sense. He's Polynesian.
What's Vin Diesel?
Alrighty.
Vin Diesel.
Instead of saying I'm Groot, I am Boba Fett.
Yo! Exactly.
Hey, that was pretty good. But we didn't need Vin Diesel. We just need me.
Joseph Boba Fett. Yep. But that's our thoughts on the Temuera Morrison Boba Fett drama. Let us know what you think of it all. Are you on Disney's side? Are you on Temuera Morrison's side? Do you think it's okay that Disney are cutting back and trying to save money? Or do you think they did Temuera Morrison dirty? What are your thoughts on this? Because I think if they wanted to cut back on money, they could cut back on money without having to get rid of Boba Fett from season 3 of Mando. They could have, much easily saved money doing something else. Like, But anyway, let us know what you thought. And we'll see you guys in the next episode of the Movie Pod, which will be our Jedi Survivor predictions.
Yes,
So
sir.
look out for that one. Alright, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.